Hey guys, it's Jen, and I'm here on the Studio Calico blog today to share a layout that I am making with the scraps from my August kit. This kit is called Let's Go, and I am using the scrapbook kit as well as the documenter kit. I've made, I think, 4 or 5, maybe 6 layouts with these kits, and so you can see I'm kind of just using up the scraps to create a background on my page. So the inspiration for this page was actually the transparency circles that were in both the scrapbook kit and the documenter kit this month. I didn't have enough of those to make a whole page with them, but I thought what would be fun to use up the patterns in the kits would be to just punch my own circles and then arrange those kind of in rows on my page and then use my sewing machine to stitch through them. So you can see me there just arranging those, and this is a great way to use up scraps, and it's also a great way to use documenter cards. I like to use mine for scrapbooking as well as pocket pages. A lot of the patterns are scaled down, so it's perfect to use with a punch or if you just want to use a little bit of the pattern. Another thing I wanted to point out was that little star that you see there, that gray star on the left hand row. I was able to punch that out and then kind of fold that star over and staple it with tiny attacher. I thought that was kind of a fun touch. That paper was the specialty paper in the scrapbook kit, and I used it on one of my gallery projects, but I made an 8.5 by 11 layout, so I had a scrap of it left, so I'm glad I saved that. So all I'm doing here is just adhering my little circles on the back of the page. If you wanted to be really exact with this, you could use a ruler, but I wasn't really interested in being super exact. Close enough was good for me. So you can see that I'm just using a tiny bit of adhesive there, and then I just need to move my stuff out of the way so I can grab my sewing machine. I'm gonna stitch down kind of the center of each of the row of circles, and this is just gonna add a little bit of texture to the layout. I've gone through a few different configurations of where to keep my sewing machine in my scrapbook room, but the best thing for me is just to keep it on my desk, because then it's super quick and easy for me to use when I want to, and I find I use it more on my pages. So I'm just going to finish up the stitching there, and I'm going to trim the excess off with a little pair of sewing scissors that I keep on my desk just for that. And then I'm going to just lift up the edges of those circles a little bit, and I like doing this after I stitch them down because it gives the page just a little bit of dimension and texture. For my photo, I'm using a black and white photo, and I printed this a little bit smaller than a 4x6. It probably only took up about half of the 4x6 sheet of photo paper. And then I'm going to use this title word from the main scrapbook kit, and I have a small chipboard sticker from the documenter kit that says love, and so that'll be my title, is Love This. And then I'm also using these wood stars from the Halloween themed add-on this month. It was called In the Spirit, and I'm glad that I have some of these left over because I love those stars, and I will definitely be hoarding those and using them on many more layouts. So to put the wood stars down, I'm just going to use a little bit of wet adhesive. I find this is what works best. It takes a little bit to dry, but once it does, it's probably the best at holding that wood veneer onto the paper. And then I have a couple embellishments left. These are from the documenter kit, I believe, those little fold over labels, and so I'm just going to stick one of those up at the top to embellish that part, and then I'm going to add a little bit more glue to my star there as well so it doesn't slip off. And then these enamel dots are from the scrapbook kit. I'm going to add some of those to the page to embellish, and I'm trying to kind of put light colors with light colors, so I'm putting yellow with yellow, pink with pink, so on and so forth. And I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive to that bottom star there to make sure that it sticks. And then the last thing I have to do is just add my journaling. So I went ahead and typed this out on my typewriter, and I just used scissors to simply trim that out. And then I lay it on the page where I think I want it to be. and then I'll end up adhering that down with some regular adhesive. And then the only thing I forgot to do on camera was add a date stamp. I always do that on my layouts, and so you'll see that in the pictures, but you won't see it in the video here. I also thought I would use some of those gold sequins that came in the Documenter kit, I believe, to embellish the layout. So here are some close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this gives you some ideas for using up the last of your kits when there are scraps left. I hope you have a great week, and see you soon.